Do you like speed? Do you like power? Then get your coats, cause it's about to get foggy. Hey guys, we are here talking about my End League Invoker. So for those of you that have followed along, we've got a new Mobalytics guide just focused at the End League and the variants. It's on screen now, it's in the link in the description, so if you want to take a deeper dive into anything, look at the passive tree in detail in your own time, check that out. If you're here and you're on a budget, as you first come to this guide, this link here, Farham's League Start to Bossing Guide, if you click that, take you to the budget version that we've been working on for the first week. If you've been on the budget version, you can go to Farham's End League Invoker, be on the main version, and then got what we're talking about today. So we're going to go through this all in detail. We're going to go through all the variants, the gear setup, the skill gems, the passive tree, and what we're doing with jewels there, some optionality. We're going to do a showcase of all the content. I've got all of the bosses killed. I've got a tier 16 map with rituals, so I can show you how it goes around maps. That's in a Rust Bowl, which is a particularly crappy map because it's got lips and ridges everywhere, so I can show you this going in a map that's perhaps not so good for the movement style. And yeah, hopefully give you guys a clear view of what this build does. Let's get into it. Let's start talking probably first about the gear, I think. Let's start talking about important numbers we need to hit across the gear as a whole. Now, we're in the end game. You want to be having all res 75, chaos res over 50%. You want to have 4,500 plus life and energy shield combined. And we really should be sitting on 70 plus evasion here at this point to do the end game content comfortably. So how are we achieving that? What do we need to hit on our gear? So we are hollow palm. We scale off both of the evasion and attack speed of our gear. These are the flat values as seen on the gear items that your character has equipped. So what's important? To achieve 100% crit chance on Falling Thunder for one-shotting the bosses, we need to have at least 760 energy shield. I've achieved this purely from boots and helmet. I've got 800 at the moment, just got an upgrade, managed to get some chaos resistance sorted out from that, all good. You can do this on the boots because you don't need movement speed. Movement speed is not necessary. Right. You can mix and match, so you could have your, because you need to get that 800 across all your gear. I found that about 3,000 evasion rating, so 120% more attack speed, is really comfortable for movement. More is better. Those are the numbers that I felt were comfortable, so you want about 3,000 evasion, 760 energy shield across all four gear pieces. How you fit that together is going to be up to you. Look for your bargains, although let's talk quickly about the gloves. So the gloves are where we can really invest our money. These are not good gloves, just to point out. These are definitely not great. They're okay, they've got a line on that I want to talk about, the 100% increased effect of socketed items. Get that on an exceptional base with 2 sockets, corrupted to 3 sockets, that's 48% attack speed. You can also get 15% attack speed as a suffix line on this. You can get flat damage on the top, however, you could also just get flat evasion rating or flat energy shield, giving us either attack speed or crit from the armor values of this. You can shop around, you're probably likely to find some bargains. The more expensive bit might be the runes that we're putting in them, which are really expensive at the moment. On the unique, this is the on the belt, this is the only actual unique we're using. You want it socketed as though it was gloves. You want at least 87% increased effect. That way you'll get 30% attack speed from the 2 sockets. Chest, high evasion, resistances, rings, flat damage is really good on the top. You're going to need stats, you're going to need resistances. How you fit those together on the rings, I'll leave up to you. You need to piece those things together as you're building this out, right? You're not going to carbon copy my rings. On one of the rings, you're going to need leech physical attack damage as mana. Without this, you will not be able to play this build. It's the most important line on the rings. Everything else is up to you. Fit together, get what you can. On the amulet, the really, really important line is 3 to level of all melee skills. You can actually get equipped increased evasion from equipped body armor, increased defenses from equipped body armor, global defenses. All of those things are good on the amulet. I've managed to get an evasion rating and energy shield one. That's fine. You've also got a couple of spare slots you can use for strength resistances, or if you're lucky enough to be capped and not need any more stats, you can go for crit there. Weapon, of course, is blank. Charms are quite important. You want a frozen charm. The Nascent Hope, I think the bug's fixed now with the chest, so I'm going with that. Stone Charm is really important for Sims, would suggest one of those. And the Staunching Charm, really important for Sims, would suggest one of those. That is the gearing. If you want to invest, gloves are the place to do it. Chest is the place to do it. In fact, any of these armor pieces, you could go for a 500 plus energy shield helmet. You could try and get to a 3000 evasion rating chest. And you can go for, as we discussed, those mirror tier gloves. You could also go for really, really good rings, triple tier 1 flats. tier 1 fizz damage as mana, and then 2 other tier 1 stats. Lots of investment potential there. Let's talk about the passive tree, and let's start off talking about the unique jewels that are on here. So the first one, definitely the most complex to ever explain, is the Megalomaniac. Now, I focused on getting Lust for Power for the extra power charge because we hadn't picked it up on the tree. I happened to find one with Channeled Heritage with it. The important thing I was looking for was power charges. Now, when you're looking for one of these, you might find one that's got like the Power Within on it or Overflowing Power. Now, these would be better because you're going to drop this crit bonus and you're going to drop... Well, the Power Within would be fine. You'd still save 3 skill points. This one saves 4 skill points because there's 4 pathing points there to grab Lost for Power from that way we've got the tree. So this saves 4 skill points grabbing Lost for Power. However, you could similarly... In fact, well, technically 5 because it takes the point for you as well. But we've done it for 3 points, so it saves like 1, right? So you could similarly grab something like Chakra of Thought and save skill points going up to it because these aren't very good traveling nodes here, but Chakra of Thought is pretty good. So you got to kind of shop around for a Megalomaniac. If you can't find one you like, honestly, replacing this with a well-rolled emerald that gives crit chance, crit bonus would be fine. Or just using these 3 points somewhere else, going into some more defenses, grabbing a bit more energy shield and evasion. Yeah, even coming down and grabbing the essence of the mountain wouldn't be a bad thing to do with those 3 points if you can't find Megalomaniac. You don't actually need the 7th power charge. It's nice to have the 4 power charges in Sims, because we drop these power charge nodes when we're running Sims. But that's really what the Megalomaniac's doing. So they're hard to shop for, and if you want to ask about them in the comments, like do, and I'll try and answer, but they're really complex things, and it is more about saving skill points or getting bits of the tree that would be otherwise very difficult to get to, and it's very hard to get exactly the same thing. So don't get hung up on that. Swap it out for a Sapphire and Emerald. Use those 3 points elsewhere. If you can't find something that you like, you'll be fine without the extra power charge. Next up, let's talk about the Sapphire. Really important line here is 2% of maximum mana on kill. Increased crit hit chance. Magnitude of Ailments is really good. You can get increased energy shield. That minions deal 5% increased damage as a deadline. Don't copy that, obviously. Get that something better than that. I do need to replace that at some point. Going over to our other jewels, we have the Heart of the Well. Now, there's one really good line on here. I need to divine this up, and that's chance for lightning damage with hits to be lucky, as well as extra damage as lightning. Those 2 lines, if you can find it with those 2, it's incredible. Gain 1 rage on melee hit, also really good for the build, but this thing is going to be, I think, hard to find. But those top 2 lines, you really do want to try and find those. Just to point out how good that lucky line is. This used to be a really popular anoint, but used to be 100% chance. But that's all the way on the other tree. It costs a lot to anoint that. That's 30% chance for lightning damage with hits to be lucky. I think this is really, really good. Really, really good jewel to pick up if you can pick up one with that lucky line on it, because it does make a big difference, especially when we're attacking this much. And if you can get the extra damage of lightning, that's perfect too. Next up, these were 17 divines. They are now a lot more. You want a From Nothing for Walker of the Wilds. It allows us to get a whole bunch of good nodes around here. This 8% extra damage of Fizz, even though we're not doing broken armor, seems to actually really increase the DPS numbers. It did seem to make quite a lot of difference. You can kind of see how the numbers go up there. Also allows us to grab dizzying hits to max out our crit. Stupefy for 40% increased damage. Targets pretty much they are always dazed. We can get enhanced reflexes and save a couple of points there too. And we can grab heart stopping, save a point on the way to heart stopping. As well as 3 points here. Technically get this for free. It also allows us to get 4% more effective slow from temporal chains when we're in Sims. So when we're on weapon set 2, this activates. The difference between weapon set 1 and 2 on the tree, by the way, just to clarify that. Weapon set 1, which is when we're bossing and when we're mapping, we use power charges because we want 7 power charges to one-shot the boss. When we're doing Sims specifically, we use weapon set 2, so this affects Tempest Flurry, so it now does more damage, less attack speed. And then we focus quite hard, taking the points back from the power charges to go for more damage from, more extra damage as lightning, more attack damage, and then I had like a couple of spare points, so I just threw one over here because I didn't really know what else to necessarily do with it. But yeah, I mean 4% more slow is 4% more slow. The rest of the tree, it's all attached. We're going to Hollow Palm. We're focused on a split of sort of, well, we're kind of mainly focused on crit, but we're getting attack speed where it makes sense, where it's on our pathing route, and we are now focused in on that lightning damage as well. But let's talk about the skill gems then, and some of the switches that we'll use for different content. It's all written down in the guide. I'm not going to dwell on every single support and every single skill, so please do check that if you want to look through them all. However, let's start off talking about the weapon switch. So we do switch between weapon 1 and weapon 2. We use weapon set 2 specifically for Sims, and the reason for that is Rigwald's Ferocity on Tempest Flurry. Gives us more damage when we need it in Sims. The monsters get toughness, you would do 57.5% less damage in the end. This just helps us sort of crack through that in a decent way where we don't need the attack speed. So you'll see that go from 95,000 to 62,000. So we're this fast when we're mapping, and we're this fast when we're in Sims. This is quite a noticeable difference, but the punch is there that helps us get through those monsters that are constantly spawning. We don't need to move around. So, largely speaking, we've got Elemental Expression. This is running as a support, nearly in all cases applying blind. We've got Falling Thunder, which is either our boss bashing ability or our clearing ability, depending on what content we're doing. If we're doing bossing, then we have it set up to one-shot. If we're doing mapping or Sims, then we have it set up to just clear a wide area. Tempest Flurry is our movement / main combo generator. It moves us around the map. We either use it to move really fast or we use it to hit pretty hard when we're in Sims. Mantra of Destruction we only use when we're bossing. We switch that out for Charge Staff when we're in Sims or mapping. Charge Staff comes with Elemental Armament, Innovate, Elemental Focus, Pinpoint Critical, and Lightning Attunement. I'm thinking actually we'll switch... Pinpoint Critical could be switched out for Rakatha's Flow, and that will help you break any Ellie immunes. That would be a good switch for Pinpoint Critical if you wanted to invest a bit more here in the skill side of things. Just talking about other switches, if you were doing maps, then you put, or Sims, you put Rage Forged in Elemental Expression to maintain the movement speed from Rage by never letting us cap, and you put Nova in Falling Thunder to give it more clear. So we'll just set that back up for bossing. And again, Mantra of Destruction here, straight swap for Charge Staff. Hand of Chayula, this is used to generate our power charges using Aelith's Charm. Other than that, it just attacks fast and also gets culmination in it, so we can build up lots and lots of stacks at once. And then generate our max power charges. We've got Wind Dancer, which, honestly, the supports I'm running in it, I don't think they do anything, but it gives us a bunch more evasion. Blasphemy with the Temporal Chains on Weapon Set 2. This actually has 55% slow. On Weapon Set 1, it's only 51%. So we've got a little bit of a switch from Aurora Magnitude going on into Weapon Set 2 for Sims. Herald of Thunder's basically running support, Magnified Area, Elemental Armament, Long Shot, Elemental Focus, Lightning Attunement. Herald of Ash, Magnified Area, Swift Affliction, Compressed Duration, and Fire Mastery. And finally, Ghost Dance. This actually provides quite a lot of healing at this stage. If we take a look at that, it's 1,641 per shard, which is half of our energy shield. It's very nice. We take Cannibalism, Compressed Duration, and Clarity 2 on that. You could swap Clarity 2 out for Precision 2, depending on what your accuracy is looking like. You don't really need the mana regen. Really need the accuracy. In fact, it's actually kind of got to the point where I do need the accuracy. So if your accuracy is sort of below 2,000, I would recommend running Precision 2 instead of Clarity 2 there in your Ghost Dance. So just to talk then through how this works. Mapping works by holding down Tempest Flurry. We're in slow mode at the moment, but if we go to fast mode, you just zoom around the map like this. When you've built enough charges, you press Hand of Chayula. This will generate you power charges. At 70 combo, it will generate all of them. You can then press Charge Staff, which we don't have equipped at the moment. You then continue to do this. If it gets hairy at any point, you press Hand of Chayula, generate power charges, then you press Falling Thunder, everything dies. That really is how mapping works. We're going to showcase all of this. For bossing, you run up to the boss, you hold down Tempest Flurry. You will get to about 70 stacks of Hand of Chayula. This will take a couple of seconds. You press Hand of Chayula, this gives you 7 power charges. You press Mantra of Destruction, you then press Falling Thunder and the boss dies. This works on every boss, they just instantly die. You probably saw it in the intro, I probably did something, and now you're about to see it through all the showcases, so let's get on with that. That concludes the show and tell part of the build. Please do check the build guide out, and if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. I hope you enjoy the showcases. I hope you managed to get your hands on this build and get the monk's hands dirty, I guess. On with the showcases. So, here we are, at the door. Hard mode pieces, putting them in. Get those rammed right in there. And then we descend into the hole once more. We're obviously starting off with hard mode Arbiter. Why would we start off with any other kill? This one takes 2 hits because he has phases. But you can see we're here with our battle kiwis. Health bar loading some way down, as normal. That's where we like the health bars to be. They shouldn't be above our heads at all times. This would be simply foolish. We go and stand next to this lad, and then we get ready to give him the old love tap. He says some stuff. Oh, the edict already burns for your world. Such a whiny little bitch. Right, so we beat him up. As you can see, the mana we have mana problems because we don't actually do damage because of his damage reduction. But that starts to stabilize now. And he's in phase 2. So he's now gone to the middle. We've actually managed to build up 20 combo points, 28 combo points while waiting for him to move to the middle, but we dropped those. Now we're going to hit him again. We just hit. We need to be brave here because he's going to do some stuff, right? He's going to be like, there's some things going on. He's going to jump around. We're going to come back. And now we've got 100 combo. That should be enough. It was. Oh, he's dead. Probably get some loot. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that. It's absolute trash. Absolute trash. All right, so here we are. Tier 3 breach. 150 splinters. Probably going to be well spent. I'm sure you get loads of good loot. So we're in our boss killing setup right from the start rather than being in our mapping setup, even though we've got the run up. So I think this is a good showcase of how this works without charge staff and just what charge staff actually brings to the table, which is considerably more damage. Although, you know, we do enough. We just spin to win. It's when you get these sort of immune guys like that they just take a few more hits. You have to spin on them for a while, whereas if you've got the charge staff, you don't really notice. But everything just dies. We get the hands. We can, you know, really cover every place of this in our spinny death. We can do our slams as well. You can see how fast we're generating charges. It takes seconds to generate a full set of charges, so we can slam pretty much every rare that appears. Doesn't really matter that we don't have charge staff on to boost the Tempest Flurry damage because we can just slam whenever we want. And even a slam without Ancestral Boost is enough to kill rares. So we've got a minute on the clock and it's just staying pretty stable. Timer only going up as we eliminate everything the moment it spawns, pretty much. Elemental expressions go off fairly regularly. They go off a lot more when you've got charge staff up. That's because we've got pinpoint critical in it at the moment, causing it to... When that crits, it also causes elemental expressions, which is quite useful. You can see the little ball lightnings flying around, telling us which way to go. I don't rate them, but I don't know what else to put in there. It doesn't do any damage. I thought they looked kind of funny, and then I could make a joke about blue balls, like how we can all have blue balls together or something. No. Anyway, we just killed that rare. He did a corpse explosion, but we were gone. There's another one there. It's gone. Oh, red stuff. Pew pew, lasers, bang. That laser kill animation's pretty cool. Strongly recommend. I think you have to get it from the mystery boxes though. But you can also become a Goblin Witch Doctor. Woo! Anyway, here's some loot you can get for free. It wasn't very good. I mean, I think we actually ID it now and actually find out it's all terrible on the run. Spaces are premium due to skill gem swaps. We do find out it's trash. I'll have to look at that one for a moment, and then before I realise it's trash. I know nothing about crossbows. I know something about one crossbow, but look, our balls are getting ready. They're sort of in the shape of him, you see, they're ready for him to be there, and then they pop in anticipation. So what we do here is we start spinning, and then I think we press our mana potion. We've got about 70 charges. He's dead. That's that shit. You know, it's... What can I say? Nicked his wings, innit? Nice loot. So here we are, King of the Mists, got our splinters in, tier 3 of course. We're going to show that we have the speed, the strength, the skill to be a gladiator in this 2-round contest. The gladiators, are you ready? Contestants, are you... Oh, he's done. Now he gets to do the running phase. This is the real test of a gladiator. As you can see. Oh, I got stuck. And this is also a test of the movement. So this is where you find out if you're a good pilot or not. I'm not a good pilot. So I've hit 3 things. I should have played it in Season 1. Anyway, so we go stand next to him because he's our mate. We like the King of the Mists. He is our mate. And then we just hit him up for a bit. Soon... Oh, we should probably move. We've got plenty of... now... Bam, bam, bam! We give him the old triple fist. He's done. And what sort of loot's he going to give us? A bell! Hooray! And we're going down into the cathedral with lots of men. Through the door. To the long-necked monster. The old... Kulmanek the throat goat, as they call him. Down in the 7 hells! Now, he likes a bit of teasing, so we're just going to tease him on this first round. Just slap him about a bit. His name's Kulmanek. Kulmanek, the throat goat. We're going to tease him a bit more. Many charges. He gets the big stuff this time. Thunder! Give it to him again. And one more time. Something about celebrate. So here we are. Gonna go get our last book. I haven't got this book. Oh, into the tomb we go. But what lies in the depths? Is it a Balrog? No. It's a bloke with a big sword. I'm gonna go down the slow ramp though. Really gets them hard when you use the slow ramp. Oh, here he is. Another multi-phase boss. Biphasal. Sleeps twice. Oh, look at him. Time to show off how rock hard we are. Hit me with your sword. Hit me hard. Hit me quick. Hit me. Hit me. Oh, what a banger. Ah, fucking old. Alright, here we go. He's getting regened. His skeletons are giving him the business. And now we're going to stand in the laser. We should never stand in lasers, but we will. Because we don't care. And he's dead. We brought up way too many charges just to show off the bigness. Oh, look, a book. Exciting. We love books. Such nerds. Alright, Realm Gate. Sim Splinters. Tier 4 Sims. Let's go. Let's put those away first. Do you know what? There's something about Sims. We'll do this first wave, but then it's 15 waves of me spinning to win. And you know what I think we're going to do? I think what we're going to do is we're going to, like, probably just swap these skill gems around. So what we're doing is making sure that we are in weapon set 2, that we have charge staff, and that Falling Thunder is going to be able to clear an entire room, and that we constantly don't have 30 rage, so that we're always going as fast as we can while maintaining as much damage as we can using Tempest Flurry, and we're off. So if we spin like this, what you do is you get to 40 charges on the wave, and then you try and notice that. I went over, you charge up your charge fists, and then you just spin. You save up all your charges at this point for Hand of Cholula and the Falling Thunder, because if the bosses spawn, or you get into trouble, you use Hand of Cholula and then you slam. And that's it. And other than that, you just spin around like this and try and pop as many mirrors as you can and get as many rewards as you can. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go make a cup of tea. This is all going to speed up, and I'm going to come back when this gets interesting. Right, so we're back. This is floor 10. This is where things start to get a little bit hairy. The sped up footage, there was some... Well, I start to get hairy. Nothing really gets hairy. We just dominate everything and just completely blow everything up. I think Rakiata's flow on charge staff would make a real difference. Watching this back, I think it would actually make a really big difference at this point. Probably the next big investment on the build. So going into floor 11, this is where, well, we don't get guaranteed bosses until floor 12, 13, and 14, but you get progressively more and more likelihood that both bosses spawn, so let's see how this goes. So when you get into the map, so you get charge staff up, get to 40 charges on Chyola's Press it. Doesn't matter if you hit anything. You get your charges. You get your charge staff up. Keep charge staff up. Keep fighting everything. Keep building charges. Only press Thunder Slam if you're really in the shit or unless the bosses spawn. And then there you go. Boss spawns and bam. Dead. That's it. Quick combo. Mouse 5. Right click. Done. Boss is gone. Because we've got all of those culmination points just saved up. Ready to go. We're making sure that we can deal with these guys just using Tempest Flurry. Sometimes we can't if the wrong combination comes up and then you do have to slam. If power charge stealers come along, then they can nick your power charges. That can be quite annoying. Make sure you be aware of if your power charges are there or not. Like, glance up. It can be quite hard. It's probably one of the trickiest things to deal with. There's no defense I can put in against it, so we just have to be aware. There you go. It just happened there. As you can see, I've still got 2 seconds of charge staff. Less charges on the on Chayula than Falling Thunder. So now I'm going without charge staff because I know that this power charge is going on. Save my points so that I can still do the quick slam and get rid of the bosses. That's more important than getting charge staff up. So be aware. Don't panic and think I have to get charge staff up. Just play a more defensive game where you kind of like herd them rather than like flying into them. And then just save for that point where the bosses spawn. It's more important that they just go down, right? Because if they hit you after you've been chipped away at and your shield hasn't come back, hard to get your shield back, they can one-shot you, right? You saw we were on like 1,000 shield. 1,500 life, get jumped on by Omniphobia, he's going to kill you. Now, these floors, they're guaranteed to spawn, so we're just going to make sure that we're kind of in position to slam them every time and not have to deal with that. Temporal Bubble guys are a bit annoying. We got charge staff up, but again, even though you might be inclined to slam the Temporal Bubble guy, I'm not going to. I'm going to save my slams. I'm just going to make sure I hold them. I'm just going to make sure I keep building my charges, and bosses are down, and bosses are gone. That's it. That's effectively the hard part of the wave over. We just need to... If the wrong combination of guys spawn, we can still die. We get swamped on by like a Temporal Bubble guy, a main guy, and a Mana Sucker, and all of a sudden you're like stuck in the... Ooh, a Divine! Stuck in the Mana Sucker, and that can be a problem. So it's not completely foolproof. You have to pay attention to what's around. Another shit exceptional. So, second verse, same as the first. We spin to win, near where the bosses are going to spawn. So that even if we lose track of the exact time we've been in the wave, then it's okay. We can react to the noise and just do our slam combo. As soon as the noise happens, they exist. So we just react to that. There they are, and bam. As I said, second verse, same as the first, same position, same slam, both bosses dead. We clear up the wave. Hope we don't get a nasty combination of rares, but even if we can slam again. We know we're safe to do that. We don't need to slam again for bosses. So it's only really in that build-up between... It's the scariest moment is getting your charge staff online, or if something happens that stops you getting charge staff online where you have to adapt how you're playing a bit. But it's a bit. It's going in wider circles than, like, aggressive slices. Not much of a difference, but here we go. Third verse, same as the first and second. Yeah, but the enemies hit a little bit harder this time, and we've got some shit heal. We've got a bunch of shit heal fire and fire guys, and actually... we're taking a bit more of a beating as they're actually managing to hit us. So, again, going out and in, trying to cut out from the group and back in, and then in position for the boss slam. Bit slow on it that time, but with the 55% slow we're putting on them with temp chains, we're going to react before they do, even if we're getting like knocked about a bit like we are by this wave. So I think we probably should slam again on this wave. It's a bit of a rough one, but yeah, I did. There you go. There goes out the slam. Finishes off the last of the enemies. And that's it. That's Tier 4 Simulacrum. Absolutely easy, completely on farm. Let's have a quick look at a map. We're going to go in one of the worst maps for this, which is Rust Bowl. Rust Bowl, Crimson Shores, both suck. So let's go do a Rust Bowl. Off to Rust Bowl we go. It's, we got Falling Thunder. We need to swap things around, right? We want Falling Thunder to do AoE damage. We want Charge Staff. We don't want Mantra because we're doing maps now. We're not doing bossing. So let's get those swaps around. We want to go as fast as we can, and we want to be able to just literally zoom through the maps. We're going to do a pretty typical farm, which would be a ritual farm. We're going to find the 4 rituals. We're going to do them. We're going to do the expedition. We're going to do the bosses. We've got quite a lot going on the map, blah, blah, blah. Real risk of death. Tier 16 map. Let's get on with it. Why aren't I getting on with it? Get in the map. So, first rock, hit. Second rock, hit. But now the real fun begins. And the game sound has gone already. And everything should just pretty much explode. And it does. And the first ritual's clear, so we're going to get that open. We're running a corrupted map, so we'll get more corrupted monsters and shitloads in our rituals. That's what we're doing. And we just zip around the ritual. Just completely blow it up. You can see that ritual score going up pretty fast. We're already on over 1,000 in our first ritual. So, pretty nice. There's some fella left somewhere. And these guys are really annoying. They add quite a bit of time to our map. Because we've got like the bongo drummers and stuff in the ritual, and they just walk around the edge and hang around the edge of the ritual, and they're a pain in the ass to find. Unfortunately, unlike Season 1 attribute stackers, we don't have unlimited area of effect, so we have to go actually find the thing and touch it. We found the next ritual, so we just clear that. Get charged staff back up, and you can see how many elemental expressions are going off with charged staff with pinpoint critical on there. So very, very good there. Well, for generating the number of explosions. We don't actually need that many explosions, but I guess it blinds anything that spawns. But you can see we're just absolutely blasting through the rituals, no problem at all. Don't really need to think, just drag your mouse around and the controller around, and yeah, everything just melts. Second ritual done, we'll just go off. Ornate strongbox, not too bothered about those. If there's a researchers, we'd probably juice it up and do it. I get stuck on a cactus. I get stuck on a fern. Yeah, this is one of the less good map types. The not so perfect. If you get a nice open map, you can just zip around the whole thing. But this one's got lots of cacti and things and little blockers that you have to try and look for. And I'm playing with a mini map in the corner to give you guys some clarity. If you play with a mini map over you can sort of pilot like that. It's a little bit easier. But I wanted to show off the silliness that is the amount of explosions and things. So there's something with the elemental resistance, but it's gone now. Oh, we had also, I think our charge staff had just dropped our 10. Oh, no, I haven't. I'm just clearing the rituals. If you get hit, you sort of get like a minor stun, but sometimes it slows down your spinning to win. The thing is, you're not near any enemies. They start to swing at you and you're gone. Right? They're going 55% slower and you're on the other side of the map. So you don't really get hit very often because we're going so fast. Right, this is rare up here, but yeah, go the wrong way. Get stuck on a lip. Stuck on another one. Last ritual? Where's the last ritual? Ah, but also the abyss. So this is how we do abysses. We YOLO into them like this. Explode a bunch. YOLO into the other side. Explode a bunch more. The sound goes again. We stand in the fire because we literally don't give a fuck. Stand in everything. Just, it doesn't matter. We've got no energy shield left. We don't care. Energy shield is coming back. Ghost shards are being consumed. We know they'll come back eventually. We've got 4 ghost shards again, so we just need to go get ourselves hit by weak little enemies. Which will happen, or our energy shield will come back. And then we just blow up the holes. Oh, researcher strongbox. Let's do that first. Buff it up, and then remember that we're not in a party with a rarity stacker, so using exalts on that was a complete waste. But managed to get, yep. Kill all of that. There's some fella jumping around in the sand. Little sand fella. Last ritual. There was the first 3, just explosions. Explosions and destruction. Rares dying everywhere. I think the red laser's good because it points out when we've actually just completely blown up a rare. Sometimes it can be quite funny when you put it on an abyss and you do the thunder slam and then like 5 or 6 of those appear at once. Pretty juicy ritual, up at what, 6,000 points almost? And what are we going to get? Oh, buy the omen, the splinters, we'll refresh. Oh, we didn't buy the splinters. We'll refresh again. And it's terrible. I hate my life. We'll just buy all of the crap. Give me all of the blue currency. Fill me up. Yummy. But at least we got dropped 1 divine across the showcases, right? And that's what happens if you forget to drink your mana potion when you don't have anything to kill. You do eventually run out of mana. Next up, I think we've got... Yeah, we've got an expedition left to find. A little bit of loot to do. Only a tiny bit. I think we're on super strict on the old filter. Oh no, we're not. No, we're on like 5. It's pretty strict. It's not completely strict. Anyway. Expedition found. Now, I really didn't bother looking at this to see if there was anywhere actually good to open. I just got involved with killing this pack, which for some reason were really tough. Not sure why. They just kept... They were, like, highly accurate. Anyway. We got them down easy enough. Just going in and out. But yeah, they got through our shield really quick. So I just dumped this just somewhere. There we go. That was a Falling Thunder there. Go into the middle, charge up Falling Thunder, use Falling Thunder. Expedition is dealt with. So if you want to do that content, that's pretty easy to farm as well. I missed a chest. Did I miss a blue chest? I absolutely missed a blue chest. I missed a blue chest up top. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, this is it mapping. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I can do all the content. If you have, don't forget to give the video a like and a subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.